Good morning.
Good morning.
I continue to talk on this text, opening the hand of thought. In my record, this is 259. Hopefully, I'll finish within a few times. Anyway, this section or chapter 8 of this book, is Uchiyama Roshi, my teacher's final lecture at Antaiji. The day before he left Antaiji, he gave long lectures, I think more than 2 hours. And he talked on the 7 points he filed while he was the abbot of Antaiji. He had in his mind to keep the place to be a good rice field, to grow Dharma people. So mainly this lecture was given to his disciples.
Recording in progress.
Even though there are many lay practitioners also. So what he's talking is kind of his will or to offer a present to his disciples. So he expects his disciples. I was one of them, and I was, I think, 26. So after that, I came to this country and practiced with American people. I tried to keep these 7 points to practice, to create a practice place. And let me first read what are those 7 points. And today I'm going to talk about the 7th, the last point. The first one is study and practice the Buddha Dharma only for the sake of the Buddha Dharma. To study Buddha Dharma for the sake of Buddha Dharma, not for the sake of emotions or worldly ideas. If we study and practice for gaining something, usually in our daily lives or in worldly social situation, we think, what is good for me? What can I get from this or that? But he says we should study and practice Buddha Dharma for the sake of Buddha Dharma, not for the sake of our personal benefit. Because that is what Buddha taught. There's no such person and there's no such thing, object we can attain or gain and make our possession. We transform our idea that there is me and there are things, and if I want this, I want to get this and make it my possession. But I don't like this, I try to stay away. But the purpose or the point of Buddhist practice is to transform that kind of mindset. And second is, Zazen is our truest and most venerable teacher. So Zazen is the teacher. Zazen is not our action or activity to gain something. If we want to gain something through our Zazen, then Zazen is not a teacher. Zazen is a method or means to gain that thing. Even that thing is a Buddha Dharma, but that is still within our self-centered mindset. So Zazen is true teacher. And third is about the nature of Zazen. Zazen must work concretely in our daily lives as the two practices. Those two practices are vow and repentance. These two are two important essential points as a bodhisattva practice. Bodhisattva is people who aroused bodhicitta. And that is our vow. And as we chant after every Dharma talk, we take 4 vows. If you wear your koromo or okesa or raksu, you have already taken that vows. I am sorry about that. You cannot cancel it. So we take a vow to make effort to that direction, but our effort is always incomplete. Therefore, we need to make repentance. So that is the basis of bodhisattva practice. The 3 minds is the name of this community or this temple, Sanshin. Those 3 minds are magnanimous mind, nurturing mind, and joyful mind. I don't have time to talk about these things because I have to go further. If you don't know, if you are not familiar with these words and you want to study, please read Dogen's Tenzo Kyokun or Uchiyama Roshi's commentary on the text on Tenzo Kyokun. 3 not poisonous mind. This 3 mind is a kind of medicine to heal the sickness caused by 3 poisonous mind. And as the realization of the saying, gaining is delusion, losing is enlightenment. This is a well-known saying of Shohaku Roshi. Shohaku Roshi is my teacher, Uchiyama Roshi's teacher. His most famous saying is, gaining, to gain something, is delusion. And to lose something is enlightenment. This means if we do something to gain something for our personal benefit, then that is based on delusion. But we offer something for the sake of Dharma. To offer means to lose. But actually there's no losing and gaining. Because we are interpenetrated with all beings. Something comes in, something goes out. There's no such calculation possible, how much we gain and how much we lose. Because it's like air comes in through our nose or mouth and go out. And within this interconnection, we are existing and alive. But we think it's a matter of course that we live to gain good thing and to stay away from I don't like things I don't like. But our practice of the Zen is to transform that kind of attitude based on, in a sense, 3 poisonous mind. That is greed, anger or hatred, and delusion or ignorance. Ignorance of emptiness of self and others. That is 3rd point. And the 4th is live by vow. Live by vow. These are 4 bodhisattva vows I already said. Live by vow and root it deeply. Those 4 vows is not something we chant every week and we can forget the rest of the week. But we have to plant that vow deep in our life and try to grow help grow our vows and try to make offering following or based on those 4 vows. And 5 is realizing that development and backsliding are your responsibility alone. Endeavor to practice and develop. So we need to see, whether we practice or not, whether we try to do some things based on Bodhisattva vow or not, is our responsibility alone. We cannot rely on others. And 6, sit silently for 10 years, then for 10 more years, and then for another 10 years. This makes 30 years, but 30 years is not the end. 30 years means, when he gave this talk, he was 62, and he was ordained as a priest when he was about 30. So he practiced for 30 years. And I think he didn't want to ask other people to practice longer than him. Today I talk about the 7th, the final one, that is cooperate with one another and aim to create a place where sincere practitioners can practice without trouble. He asked his disciples whether some people continue to live and practice at Antaiji, and other people, like me, I came to this country right after, in the same year when he gave this lecture to Massachusetts, and he accepted us to create such a place where all people, all members, all Sangha members can work together and create a place we can practice without troubles. This cooperate is, in Japanese, 協力. 協力. You can see, this is power or strength, and in this Chinese character, there are 3 same word. So 3 strengths or 3 powers, and this means to work together. So not only one person do things, but we have to collect many powers or strengths together. That is what 協力 means, to do things in harmony. And this is the word Uchiyama Roshi used for the title of this number 7, cooperate. And later paragraph, he used same word, cooperation. Next page, paragraph 3. And this cooperation is different Japanese word, that is wago. Wa is harmony, and go is getting together, get together. So 協力 and wago is same meaning. That means we work together, we practice, study, and work together and cooperate to create a sangha or place where we can practice without trouble. That is the main point of this number 7. And about, I think Uchiyama Roshi understood this is very important from Dogen's teaching. This is English translation of Shobogen's Ozui Monkey, and this is a collection of Dogen's informal talks to his disciples, his sangha. This was several years after he established his first monastery named Koshoji. Koshoji was in Kyoto. And when he established this temple, he was 33 years old. So he was still a very young teacher. And some people get together to practice with him. So at this time, when Dogen gave this talk, Sangha was still very young or new. So it's important to allow those, I think, basically young people to understand the spirit of Bodhisattva Sangha. And one of those people was Ejo. Actually, Ejo was older than Dogen, 2 years older than Dogen, but he was newest member of the Sangha. And Ejo recorded Fat Dogen talk for 3 or 4 years. And the collection of the transcription of Dogen's talk became this text, Zuimonki. And what I want to introduce is section 5.9 of this text. If you want to check with this, I think you read this text after that. Then the page is 217. I think this is really important talk about how we can practice together with other people in the Sangha. Let me read a paragraph by paragraph. Dogen says, lay people say, so first he introduced proverbs or sayings within lay society. Lay people say, a castle falls when people begin to whisper words inside its walls. So when the castle has walls and people lived in that castle, and when people start to whisper words, means talk secretly or privately. He said the castle will fall. That means there's some disharmony within the community. And Dogen introduced another one. It is also said, when there are 2 opinions in a house, so in this case, in a family, not a castle. Two opinions in a house, not even a needle can be bought. When there is no conflict of opinions in a house, even gold can be bought. So if within a family they work together in a harmony with one mind, then the family can buy, he said, even gold. But if there is a conflict within family members, even a needle cannot be bought. These are the things in the lay society. And he started to talk about monks or priest sangha or practice place. Even lay people say that to maintain a household or to protect a castle, unless there is unity of mind, unless there is unity of mind is do shin. Shin is mind, do is the same, share the same mind, same spirit and same understanding. So even lay people say that to maintain a household or protect castle, unless there is unity of mind, it will be ruined. All the more should home livers means ordained people or priests, practitioners within a monastery. Home livers who practice under a single teacher, usually a temple or monastery has one teacher, in this case Dogen, and other people come to practice, study and practice with this teacher. So all people need to have the same mind. That is to study and practice Buddha Dharma through the teacher. So who practice under a single teacher, be harmonious. So we need harmony. This is our goal. Like a mixture of water and milk. Water and milk is analogy used in Mahayana Sutra, such as the Nirvana Sutra. When we add some water in the milk becomes thin. But it's still one thing. Water and milk can mix completely. There's no way to separate milk and water. But if we put some oil in milk, they cannot become one. Milk and oil cannot mix together, cannot be one. So we are all members of the Sangha needs to be, even there is a difference, milk and water, still it should be completely mixed as one thing, even if becomes thin. Water and milk. There is also the Dharma of the 6 ways of harmony. 6 ways of harmony came from one Mahayana Sutra named Yoraku Kyo. Yoraku Kyo is Jewel Necklace Sutra. This is one of the Mahayana Sutra mentioned about the Mahayana or Bodhisattva precept. And in that sutra it said we have to keep lok or kei or kyo. Lok is 6 and wa is harmony, same wa. And K is respect. So there's a 6-point Sangha members keep each other. That is harmony and respect. We need to respect other people and also work together in a harmonious way. And those 6 are, first 3 are body, speech, and thought. Those are 3 parts of our body or our life. Through using these 3, we make karma, or we take actions by using body. When we do something, we use hands or legs or entire body. And speech is using our mouth. We talk to communicate something. And thought is thinking. Thinking allows us to say something or to take some actions. So those 3 are called 3 karmas, or 3 parts of our body that create our karma and create how we live, and also how the community could be. So we need to, first 3 are harmonious respect, harmony and respect within our actions, using those 3 parts of our life, body, speech, and thought. These are first 3 of the 6, and next 3 are keeping the same precept. Do kai, I don't need to write, keep the same precept. So we, in this Sangha, we receive the same precept, same 16 Bodhisattva precept to become Buddhist or Buddha's disciples or students. So we share the same precepts. And the next one is sharing the same understanding. Understanding is do, same do, and ken. Ken literally means to see or to view. And by seeing or viewing things, we think and understand. So, do ken means share the same understanding and view, or ken also can mean opinion. So we understand why we are here, what we are doing, what is the best way to work together. That is next one, to share the same idea or understanding or opinion. And the final one is carrying on the same practice. Do, gyo is practice. So we share the same precept. Precept is a guideline of our lives, and same idea or opinion or understanding. And we practice together the same practice, and together with other people. Sangha cannot be one person. I cannot be a Sangha if I am alone. But from the Indian tradition to create a sangha. There need at least 4 or 5, or 3 or 4. I forget. I forget everything these days. But one person cannot be a sangha. But to be a sangha, we need at least 3, 4, or 5 people, some people, and they get together to do the same thing. That is, study Buddha's teaching and practice what Buddha taught, and also, how can I say, offer what Buddha taught to other people. That is a function of the Sangha. And to do such a functions, we need those 6 points of harmony and respect each other. Otherwise, we cannot work well. That is what Dogen is talking about. There is also the Dharma of the 6 ways of harmony and respect actually. Do not set up individual rooms that create separations among people's body and mind, and do not practice the way with different mental attitude. In the same text, the monkeys, sometimes Dogen talks about what happened at Kenninji, where Dogen, practiced with his teacher Myozen before they went to China. And when Dogen and Myozen stayed in China, and unfortunately Myozen, his teacher, died in China. So Dogen returned to the same temple carrying his teacher's ash. And after 5 years, when he returned to the same temple, he found there was some big difference. That means the genuine spirit of Dharma is lost. And he said one Dharma talk in this text, people live separately. They have their own dormitory or rooms. In the monastery, traditionally, all monks lived in one room, one hall, named Sodo or Sangha Hall or Monk's Hall. And there's no such division. There's all one simply like this room. And each person has the space of one tatami. So they stay in one room 24 hours, 7 days a week. So there's no secret, no privacy at all. So it's really difficult. When I practice at the Yoji, monks slept in the Sodo because, I grown up in a kind of a common family, so I never slept with other people. And it was really difficult to be peaceful. And sometimes in the night while they are sleeping, someone snore, make noise. So we can see everyone's activity or behavior and even the character completely. There's nothing to be hidden. So we have to show everything to each other. It's a really difficult practice and difficult way of life. But that is how Zen monks lived, practiced together in traditional monasteries. It's difficult, but it's very kind of beneficial because we cannot hide anything from each other. We thoroughly understand what this person is like, good point and weak point. So those people who practice together in such a situation, can be really a good, deep friend. But not many people like it, I guess. I didn't like it anyway. Whereas, but that is how people practice. But Dogen found at Kenninji, monks lived individually. So do not set up individual rooms that create separations among people's body and mind. And do not practice the way with different mental attitude. So we should keep these 6: harmony and respect. Our life in this monastery is like crossing the ocean in a single boat. So he said, we are in the same boat and crossing the ocean, this ocean, or like a river between samsara and nirvana. That is what paramita in prajna paramita or other 6 parameters means. That is to cross the ocean or river and to reach the other shore. That is nirvana. So we are people, the member of our Sangha is like people in the same boat. If there is a fighting or conflict with the boat, the voyage cannot be enjoyable if it's not dangerous. Sometimes it's dangerous. The sailors didn't work together well. And we should have unity of mind. This unity of mind is important. Share the same dignified conduct. That is the last thing, practice together. Dignified conduct, give advice to not to mutually give advice to mutually reform each other's fault. So when we live or stay without privacy, we can see good part and weak part of all people. So we can teach each other if we have harmony and compassion. Mutually reform each other's faults, follow the good points of others, and practice the way uniformly in the same way. This is how people have been practicing since the time of the Buddha. So this is how people, monks, practice together in a Sangha. Of course, in Indian Sangha, they didn't have such a monk's hall, but each priest or each monk had their own hut, small hermitage. So they didn't slept or even sat together. So this way of practice is from Chinese Zen tradition. But anyway, that is what Dogen studied and learned, and he wanted to transmit to Japan. Anyway, so this is one of the ideas of how we practice as a Zen community. And I start to read Uchiyama Roshi's, what Uchiyama Roshi says in page 167, if you have this text. A place of practice, same as a monastery. So what Dogen talks about the practice in a monastery. And the community of Antaiji is much tiny, much small. It's not like a monastery. But the community is all home livers and people who want to be monks, or lay people who want to stay and practice together for a certain period of time, practitioners. Anyway, so that is where Dogen and Uchiyama Roshi is talking. But here at Sanshinji, me and my family is only people living here. So we need to practice like Dogen's monastery or Uchiyama Roshi's Antaiji. So we need to be creative, how we can create the way practice together within this community in America. We cannot imitate Japanese monastery. It's not possible. And Japanese mentality and culture are different. Uchiyama Roshi also said to me when we left Antaiji that once you left Antaiji, you cannot practice like what we did at Antaiji. So we have to be creative and patient. And I found that was really true to practice with American people. It's very different, even though they aspire to study and practice Buddhism and Zen practice, still somehow our mentality is different. And that was very helpful for me to, to transform my mentality, to broaden and more flexible. When I went there, as I said, I was 20, well, I was already 27. But when I started to live there, I felt like I was 5 years old boy again. I have to ask everything to American people. What is this? How we should do? That is really difficult, but helpful practice to me to become more flexible, to see who we are, what is the limit. I feel that was good, and that was really good in Japanese community. But same thing is not necessarily good within American community. So we have to, this living within the different culture is really hard teaching, but it's beneficial. Anyway, so Uchiyama Roshi also talked to practice harmoniously in a community is important. And he continued, a good practice place must neither be a place for carrying on religious political intrigues, nor a place to try to climb up the pseudo spiritual ladder. Pseudo is pronunciation, okay? False spiritual ladder. Ladder means to climb the the hierarchy within the religious organization or institution, and usually compete. And this has happened in Japanese Buddhism. So this sentence is about the kind of a situation in Japanese institutional Buddhism. Monks have some kind of a political conflict and compete each other to go up to that hierarchy. And probably next one, I mean, these two sentences are not what Uchiyama Roshi actually said. These are kind of a change we translated made, because what he said didn't work, didn't understandable or make sense so much in English or in America. So the first one is like a Japanese problem. And the next sentence is to be practicing and to get caught up in sexual affairs, money or fame, or even to be blinded by your own practice is a terrible waste of time. We translate this, Tom Wright and me translate this in 1980s. And around that time, middle of 1980s, there are so many problems happened in American Zen centers, not only Zen centers, but Zen Buddhist communities. That's why I think Tom Wright want to add this one. So this is not exactly what Uchiyama Roshi said. But these are the way we lose the spirit, genuine spirit of study and practice in the Sangha. And from next sentence, this is Uchiyama Roshi's. There is an old saying, the poor farmer, he's talking about farming. The first sentence he said is a place of practice is unimportant to the practitioner as soil. Important to the practitioner as soil is to the farmer. So in order to be a good, healthy community, we have to make effort, same effort as a farmer produce a good soil, good fertile soil. And this is a Japanese saying about farming. There is an old saying, the poor farmer makes weeds. That means poor farmer don't take care of the plants. The mediocre one makes crops. They try to grow the crops, or like rice or barley or those things, vegetables we want to grow, take care of those things. But the skilled farmer makes soil. To make soil is most important. If soil is fertile, is good, then the plants grow naturally. But if the soil is poor, then no matter how many seeds we plant and take care of the plants, those plants cannot grow. So that is why Uchiyama said to make a soil, good soil, is important. To make a practice place where monks can practice and grow as a bodhisattva. And Uchiyama says, as his personal activity or wish. I have spent my life trying to improve the soil. So that was what he had been doing at Antaiji, to cultivate the soil. Or practice ground, where I practice, aiming to make Antaiji a place where sincere practitioners can live and work together with the least amount of trouble. You know, if the practice place or community or monastery has a conflict or competition within the Sangha, there's no way to, Bodhisattva can grow. So we need to be very careful about this. How can we make a good soil? Then from the next paragraph, he talks about different problem about this harmony. There is another side to this matter of cooperation. In this case, this cooperation is a translation of wado or wago. Get together in harmonious way. Sometimes people will cooperate with each other, not only in working or in practicing the Zen, but also in playing around and drinking. You know, in Japanese monastery, or at least at Antaiji, we drank a lot. You know, we are all in 20s. A few people were in their 30s, so they had a lot of energy, and especially after session, we had a good time by drinking sake. Sometimes too much. But Uchiyama said that, he said, these things are not necessarily bad in and of themselves. You know, a good time together is not a bad thing. But we have to be careful not to simply cooperate in diversion and delusion. So we can work together to drink together and just enjoy their lives. So this is another problem. And Uchiyama Roshi continue one more paragraph. It is important that every one of us cooperate with each other, work together, help each other to protect and maintain an atmosphere conducive to practicing together. So we have to make effort to keep the atmosphere or situation where we can practice or study in a healthy way. There is no one who can claim to always embody body-mind. This the word Uchiyama Roshi uses is gonge. What is gong? I forget. I'm sorry. Oh, probably this one. Gonge. Embody, I think, is the translation of gonge, but gonge is a noun that is like incarnation or embodied. That is, no one can be incarnation of body mind 100%. nothing else. But problem is each one of us allows body-mind. That's why we are here to practice together. But still our karmic self is still alive. So some part of us has a kind of resistance to practice in this way or that way. And I feel this is not place for me, or this is not I'm looking for. I have been writing an article on Dogen's Chinese poems each month, every month, for the Dogen Institute website. And this month I wrote about one poem by Dogen. I don't have time to talk about the entire poem, but I just talk out one line, and this is interesting. That is, even if you sympathize with your nostrils, hanging in front of your face. Do you understand? I didn't understand what this means for many years. And this time, when I have to write an article, I think I understand what he's saying. This nostril is the space in our nose. And it is, of course, it is on our face. And somehow Dogen said, we have pity to the nostril on the face. What does this mean? I think not in Zen term, in Zen literature, nostril means interpenetration. Nostril is the space, outside air comes in and goes out. So this refers to the interconnectedness. But somehow this face has oneness. This is me. Even though things are coming in and going out like air or water or foods, still I think I am me. I'm what I think. I think so. That is our condition as human beings. Even though we are at bodhicitta, still we have our body. So in a sense, nostril means our bodhicitta. Our bodhicitta is on our face that always say, I am me, and I'm not you. I don't want to be like Buddha, but somehow I want to be in this community. So we almost always have kind of resistance to be like a water and milk. But we feel I'm not you, you are not me. That is our condition. That's why we need to be careful. And that is also the way we can transform this nostril on the face. That is the bodhicitta, or awakening mind within karmic self. We cannot be completely from our karmic self. Even though I have been living in this country for more than 30 years, still I feel, or I'm still a Japanese. I don't want to be, and I cannot become American. So I'm always said, I'm not American. But somehow I have to make effort to be harmonious with American people. Otherwise, I have to go back to Japan. Anyway, so this is how Shohaku Roshi said, community practice is like washing dirty potatoes in a bucket. We need to be patient to live together with other people from other culture or other people who have different karmas. So we need to be compassionate and flexible and try to flexible with my clinging. Of course, I have my clinging. Still, we need to open our hand. So that is another reason our Zazen is our teacher. Here we are. So each of us gathers and contribute his or her own little body-mind. So our body-mind is tiny, and almost always, our karmic part is much stronger than our body-mind. And Uchiyama Roshi introduced Shohaku Roshi's saying. Shohaku Roshi often said that a monastery or sangha is like a charcoal fire. Charcoal fire in a hibachi. I think you know hibachi. Hibachi in America is to do a barbecue. But in Japanese, hibachi is not for making barbecue. But hibachi is often pottery. And we fill main space with ash. And we place a charcoal on it with fire to have this is really a tiny heat. So it cannot be like a air conditioner or a heater. We can keep probably only our hands warm, but it's much help. Anyway, when we make fire on hibachi, if we put only one charcoal with a little fire, then sooner or later it dies out. So when we make fire, we have to put many small charcoals, then it can burn well and much warmer. That is what Shohaku Roshi is saying. Shohaku Roshi often said that a monastery is like a charcoal fire in a hibachi. If you put in just one little coal, it will go out right away. But if you gather many small coals, each growing just a little bit, then the fire as a whole pile of charcoal, the fire will flare up. That is how we can strengthen our practice within the monastery or the sangha. You know, each one of us is not so great person. If I stay alone, I cannot do much things. But even though each one of us has a small fire, still many of us get together and work together with the same aspiration, then this can be one big fire. That is the idea of sangha or monastery. In the same way, every one of us should contribute a little body-mind. We offer a tiny body-mind, tiny fire, and thus enable our Sangha to thrive. So that is how our Sangha can grow. This is what Uchiyama Roshi said. So I think Shohaku Roshi and Uchiyama Roshi had the same idea with Dogen Zenji to, their Sangha was small, but still Dogen Zenji's tradition continued, and it spread not only in Japan, but many countries in this world. That is a result of, each practitioner who has a tiny bodhicitta can work together, We need many different kinds of bodhisattvas. Only one great bodhisattva like Avalokiteshvara can do everything. But actually, it said Avalokiteshvara has 1,000 eyes and hands. 1,000 eye means wisdom, and hand means some kind of skill to work. So it sounds like Avalokiteshvara is like a monster who has 1,000 eyes and 1,000 hands to help all people by himself. But that is not what that means. But we are, each one of us is one of the 1,000 eyes and hands of Avalokiteshvara. Otherwise, Avalokiteshvara doesn't work so well. Anyway, this is what I have to say this morning. Any question or comments? Of course, after I came to this country, I tried to keep these 7 points important, how I can work with American people. I hope I have been doing without losing this, spirit. And also I, how can I say, transmitted those 7 points from Uchiyama Roshi to people who practice in the Sangha. Of course, the way to do things can be different. American people cannot work like Japanese, and Japanese cannot work like American. But somehow we need to be flexible and creative to create some kind of a community where we can practice without troubles. Okay, so any question or comments? No question. Do you have something? Please.
I seem to remember a Zen story about, I think a teacher who asked his student to see if there was a coal in the fireplace or something. Yeah. It wasn't, and he said, no, I can't find anything. But then the teacher was able to, blow on it or fan it and actually produced. Yeah. Do you remember that story?
Yeah. The teacher was Hyakujo Ekai.
What's that?
Hyakujo Ekai. What is Hyakujo in Chinese pronunciation? That's something like Baijian. He was a master who said, one day no work is one day no eat. So he was considered as a founder of Zen monastic practice. And the disciple was Isan or Guishan. And at that time he was a Tenzo. And Isan Hyakujo asked, so tent was next to probably Hyakujo's room, and Hyakujo asked if there is a fire in the hibachi. And Isan looked up the hibachi and said, no fire. But the master came out and dig the ash and find a tiny amber. And in that sense, in that story, that tiny amber is Buddha nature. So Buddha nature is tiny, hidden within the cold ash. But if we find deep, and we can find Buddha nature or the awakening mind or bodhicitta. Okay, thank you.
Remember, he lived a very old age, the same monk and master, and his old disciples hid his tools from him.
Right. That is when, his disciples hide his tools to work. So he couldn't work together with young monks. So he left and he stayed in his room. And when lunch or supper was ready, he didn't come. That was when he said, one day no work is one day no eat. Yeah, the same person, yes. Anything else, please?
I guess I have a question about the metaphor of the milk and water, because it seems like a really helpful point, but I'm not sure I totally understand it. So the idea, I think, is that milk, water are different, but you pour one in the other and it still mixes.
Yeah.
So the idea being, like, within a community, of course, people have different perspectives, karma, opinions. How does that get mixed together in a way that is,
Well, the analogy of water and milk came from as I said, Nirvana Sutra. And in the story in the Nirvana Sutra, it said, someone bought milk from a farmer, and to sell, to make more money, the person add some water and sell to that person, and that person pour more water and went to town to sell and get more money. And that kind of continues several times. So the liquid is almost water, but color is like milk. And one person wants to have a party for a kind of a wedding, I think. But the person couldn't buy any milk in the town at the time. So anyway, he bought that milk, or almost like water. But anyway, he bought that milk and water and made something to offer the meal. And I think the sutra said, if there's no genuine milk, we have to use the watery milk. That is the meaning of the sutra, that story in the sutra means. And Dogen used this water and milk analogy in Kesakudok. Now I'm studying Kesakudok. And he said, if there's no genuine 100% pure milk, we have to use mixture of milk and water. But we should never use milk with oil or what is other things. Oil or urushi, fatty urushi is like lacquer. So if we have a genuine body chitta, even if it's not so strong, so pure, still we can work together. But there's some oil there, then oil and milk can't be really mixed and work as one thing. Do you understand the meaning? So that is how we, even though we have not much big things to offer, but if we have a even tiny, genuine bodhicitta, still we can offer something. And if many people get together and work together, it can be useful for the sake of Dharma. That is the meaning of. So we try to offer the genuine part of us, not our karmic thing, to influence others. That is the meaning. Okay.
Anything else in the room?
Anything else? Please.
I believe this is what Uchiyama Roshi said. Democracy doesn't work in Zen practice. Well, so this is sort of contradicting, seems like contradicting milk and harmony, but can you say anything about that?
No. What democracy means. Dogen said people get together to study from one teacher. Is this democracy or not? But as a kind of a communal work or administration, monks share the work. But I think if all those monks have no respect to the teacher, then whether it is democratic or not, how monks work, but still that is not a Buddhist monastic sangha. Basically, Buddhist sangha from Shakyamuni's time, there's no discrimination among people who came from different part of society, whether from high upper society or low class people, or even untouchable people became the Buddhist monks. And once they get together, they are like ocean water. So no such discrimination. They're based on from which part of society they are from. That means including which education they had. But only the not a discrimination. What is the word? What is the word? Seniority is the way, younger or newer people need to respect older or more experienced people. So there is a story, several young people came from Shakya's clan, and they wanted to become Buddha's disciple. And they are basically, all of them, except one person, was from a kind of a warrior class, Buddha, same class with Buddha from. But one of them was he said he was a Baba, so he was a servant of those young monks. And those young monks from upper class asked Buddha to ordain this person. I think his name was Upari. Upari was a famous, one of the 10 major disciples of Buddha who decided everything about Vinaya precept. So those people asked Buddha to ordain Upari first. Then Upari became senior of those people from high class. That those monks, those young monks said, that is how we can learn, what is the word, humility, to be. So they have to Upari as a kind of a higher person. So in that sense, I don't know this is democracy or not, but kind of equal nature within Buddhist Sangha. But at least after Buddhism was transmitted into China, and Chinese Buddhism and Japanese is the same, was supported and also controlled by the government, emperor's government. And what the emperor's government need is hierarchy. So the nature of the Buddhist Sangha has changed. And in Japan too. For example, in Japan at Dogen's time, the people from high class noble family, when they become a monk, they automatically go to the higher part of Buddhist hierarchy. And because Dogen was a high class family, even he wanted to climb up the pyramid, he could, but he didn't like that system, so he left that school. And he wanted to establish a tiny sangha or monastery where only bodhisattvas who are bodhicitta, people who practice based on bodhicitta, not class difference in lay society. But still, I'm not sure if that is democracy or not. And I don't think anti-Japan Uchiyama Roshi was a teacher. I still think Uchiyama Roshi and me are equal, if that is democracy. I don't know this is the answer or not. Okay, please.
During the Baker Roshi controversy in San Francisco back in the day, made reference to that melodramatic period in our history. There was one of the teachers there that said that in the Far East they have Confucius, but here in America we have Oedipus.
Pardon?
The idea that Americans just have a hostile relationship to authority and wishes to kill it.
Oh.
And Baker Roshi, of course, he misbehaved in a very significant way, and he got crucified for it, so to speak.
Crucified?
Metaphorically. But the point is, Americans just don't respect authority much.
respect authority.
Yeah, so the model, the Confucian model of being obedient to a daddy figure, it doesn't work here. We need a different paradigm, and I think that's what San Francisco did after that. Baker Roshi, is they started rotating who's going to be in charge and committees and all that. And most of our sagas in America now are a little bit more democratic than you would expect to find in an Asiatic tradition. So that's one of the things that we have to adapt to, is this different ethos about our relationship to authority, which is different from the Confucian paradigm, where daddy figures are revered and respected, something we don't really do here.
In Japan also it's changing. There's no such authority anymore in Japan.
They're being Americanized.
That's a problem. That's a problem, but that might be a good chance to create something new, more kind of an equal relation within society or organization. Yeah. We have a lot of problems.
But we love you.
I don't know. Thank you. Okay, anything else?
Anything from anyone online?
Okay. Okay, thank you for hearing, listening.